Here's an interesting article from the science community. I've never read this article, but I just read the first paragraph only. Let's find out what the hell is going on in the sky. This article is from Hashem Al-Ghali. A US startup is sending sulfur balloons into the sky to cool the planet, and the government isn't happy. A startup called Mark Sunsets is under federal scrutiny for releasing sulfur dioxide (SO2) balloons into the atmosphere in an attempt to cool the planet. The company claims these solar geoengineering efforts reflect sunlight back into space, mimicking the cooling effects of volcanic eruptions. However, sulfur dioxide is a pollutant. It can damage lungs, contribute to acid rain, and reduce visibility. The EPA is demanding the company to disclose where they launch, where the SO2 comes from, and whether they are violating air quality laws. Mexico has already banned the company's operations, and the U.S. officials are calling the initiative climate extremism that threatens public health, calling the initiative climate extremism that threatens public health. How it works. SO2 in the stratosphere reacts with water vapor to form tiny sulfate particles. These particles act like microscopic mirrors, scattering sunlight and cooling Earth temporarily. The 1991 eruption of Mount Pinatubo demonstrated this effect, lowering global temperatures by nearly 1 degree Fahrenheit or zero point 0.5 degrees Celsius for a year. Why it's controversial? Unlike natural eruptions, sustained geoengineering could disrupt rainfall, damage the ozone layer, or unevenly cool different regions. Experts warn that unregulated experiments by private companies could have unintended global consequences. The debate: who should control Earth's thermostat? Governments, scientists, or private startups? Source: U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. EPA demands answers from unregulated geoengineering startup launching sulfur dioxide into the air. 15th April 2025. The U.S. is investigating a startup that released over 124 sulfur balloons to cool the planet. So they sent 124 sulfur balloons. So it can just lower the temperatures in certain areas of the Earth, not evenly. So unevenly lower the temperatures. It could produce acid rains. It acts in the stratosphere by combining with the vapor there, and it will lower the temperatures. It was demonstrated by the Pinatubo explosion. By the time the Earth's temperature was reduced by 0.5 degrees Celsius. So this startup is quite genius, right? It's quite genius. They did a good job managing or experimenting with the sulfur dioxide, which is SO2. They are genius, I think. But this article is quite interesting. If they were successful, probably they would have received a Nobel Peace Prize or a Nobel Chemistry award, right? This is good experiment. Good job. Kudos to you. Bye bye. Have a great Monday.